What's going on, everybody? It's your boy International Wig. This is part 2 to the series that I'm doing called The Problem with Music. Hit the subscribe button, please. I want to keep you guys going with constant content. Leave comments below. Let me know what you guys think about the videos. Let me know your perspective on some of the things that you guys see that's going on, that has been going on in your world of music. And if you have questions and you just want to learn about, putting music together the proper way, the business aspects of it, the technical issues of it, let me know in your comments. I'm curious as to what's going on. Now, let's pick up from the previous video. I spoke about some of the things that I see with fans and how fans have kind of infiltrated the music and not really being more of an artist. What I want to touch today is producers versus beat makers. The music industry has changed. Of course, you have producers who make music off of air. They can play instruments, guitars, keyboards, drums, and then you have producers who have went to school, who probably learned how to play keys in the church, different outlets. Now in this era we have different DAWs, different softwares that are out, like FL Studios, Logic's. Those are some of the more popular ones that a lot of people use. Beat makers use that a lot. One of the things that I wanted to touch today, even with the problem in music, is beat makers. I really think that a lot of beat makers just don't have creativity. Don't get me wrong, even me as a producer, I realize that I still have clients, and I realize the sound. I realize that there is a sound that, you'll get clients that they want you to make a trap sound. They want you to make, the tripled up hi-hats. They want you to use the 808s. They want you to use the kick drums. So these are very important elements, and I realize and understand that these elements are necessary in the world of music. But beat makers, a lot of beat makers, to me, they're kind of like the problem too, because not taking anything away from a beat maker who's not a producer, who doesn't know keys and chord progressions and stuff like that. A lot of beat makers, to me, have no sense of clarity in working with artists. I think they just allow any artist to jump on a beat. Whenever you're doing a song, you should have some form of direction. And even as a beat maker, talk to the artist, man. Let the artist know, like, hey, you guys should take this direction. You guys should write. I think that's a very bad thing now that's going on. A lot of rappers and singers don't write. They'll come to the studio. I know now it's a big thing where a lot of the rappers come to the studio. They'll take the microphone out of the booth and they'll have it in the control room, and then they'll rap. Being able to write and having some form of direction in your music makes a world of a difference. You have to have some type of direction with your music. Meaning you have to know how to properly do a hook or a chorus, which is probably going to be 8 bars. You have to have an idea of the song, because every instrument that you record to in terms of a song should give you some type of feel. The kick drum, the snare, the horns, the synths, the pads, the guitars, the pianos, they talk to you in a different way. And I just think that a lot of artists now, when they come to the studio, one of the things that I've noticed is the artist feels it. The rappers and the singers, they just come and they just want to vibe. Their thing is like, oh, I'm going to catch a vibe. And then they're catching a vibe could mean 3-4 hours of a session where, out of that session, it's just marijuana smoke. Not taking anything away from people who get high, but at the end of the day, when you come to the recording studio, it should be professionalism. It should be about perfecting your craft. And I just feel like, beat makers versus a producer. A lot of you guys have to realize Dr. Dre is a producer. Pharrell from the Neptunes, these are producers. Timbaland is a producer. Zaytoven is a producer. Are you going to go into a studio with Zaytoven, Timbaland, Pharrell, or Dr. Dre and waste their time in terms of not having your shit together, not writing, not having an idea of how to formulate yourself as an artist? You know, I just feel like a lot of beat makers support a lot of bullshit because they allow these mumble rappers and these different singers who have no tone, who don't know how to sing and only want to use auto-tune, not taking anything away from auto-tune, not taking anything away from a beat maker, but like I said, again, music has to have structure. A lot of artists come to the studio and have no structure, and that is a toxic thing to be doing. And the engineers know what I'm talking about. A lot of engineers have to sit and deal with this on sessions where, you know, you're recording an artist and they say two words, stop, let me hear that. You know, and it's a pattern for the next 3 to 4 hours where, stop, let me hear that, stop, let me hear that. I think it's crazy, and the reason why I say it's crazy, because if you can write to a song, it makes it so much easier for you to sit and write, come up with different ideas, or get a songwriter. That's why they have songwriters, because if you have writer's block, a songwriter will say, all right, let me hear the beat. They'll sit down, they'll write, they'll come up with something, and at the same time, they'll also vibe with you, or they create a reference. And having a reference track to any song helps. You need a writer. As a rapper or as a singer, you have to make your time span of what you're doing a little bit more productive. You can sit around for 3-4 hours and mumble out songs. You can write. You can take a piece of paper or your phone and listen to the beat and come up with the structure of a 16-bar verse or a 12-bar verse and an 8-bar hook. You can come up with these ideas. It's not as difficult as people think it is, but you know, my thing is, a lot of people watch videos with Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne freestyles a lot. Lil Wayne has a pattern of how he freestyles, and that was going on for a few years. A lot of people were watching these different videos of Jay-Z walking around in a circle for an hour or two and just memorizing everything in his head. Styles P is another artist that these people can freestyle and their music makes sense. As I said in the previous video, music is a thing where it's all about what goes on in here and here. You come up with different ideas. Why is it so hard for a rapper to go into the studio and not write? A lot of these people think, oh, I'm just going to smoke weed and I'm going to just take the 3-4 hours just to complete one verse. I think that's pitiful. I think that's absolutely pitiful. I mean, like, for me, I've been in the business and I've seen how pivotal and important it is to write. Songwriting is a very important and pivotal thing. And I'm really kind of curious as to how a lot of you guys feel about this as engineers. But I mean, are you guys going to really go into a room where Dr. Dre is and Pharrell and Timbaland and Zay and, you know, not be able to write? I want you guys to really ask yourselves that question. You know, because I know for a lot of rappers and singers, you know, you guys don't realize the importance of songwriting. And I think that's pitiful. I think it's pitiful because music has to have structure. It has to have structure. Like, whenever you are in a room and the beat's being played, you should be able to feel the song. If you can't feel the song, then you have to find another song that you can feel. Or if anything, and you have the luxury to have a songwriter around you or somebody that's songwriting that can help you too, don't be ashamed to do that. There's nothing wrong with working with a songwriter. You got to structure your music. And I think it's very toxic now because, like I said, I've been in sessions with quite a few different rappers who might be part of an entourage or trying to do this on their own, and they're not really realizing the importance of of songwriting, man. Songwriting is a very important structure of music.